Okay, we'll go ahead and start the meeting, everybody. Thank you for being here. Call to order, please.
Greg Passmore. Here. Dave Pittman. Here. Scott Thompson.
Here.
Kent Fowler.
Here.
And then in alternate, we did have Tracy Johnstone. She wasn't able to be here, so we have Chuck Reynolds.
Here.
Thank you.
Okay, if you'll please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. Stand. Salute. Pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty.
Thank you. Okay. All right, moving on to the first item. The committee will elect the chairperson and vice chairman for the 2026 calendar year.
Okay, so, you hear me okay? All right, thank you. The Rules of Governance calls to have a new chairman and vice chairperson elected in January. We did not have the members officially from the Park District in January, so we've moved it to this meeting. And the either the Park District or the city can be the chairperson and vice chairperson for 2 years in a row. The Park District was the 2025 chairperson. So what we need to do is to have you nominate and approve a chairperson and a vice chairperson.
So we can have the same person for one more year?
You can.
Park District, and I'm going to appoint someone else.
I'll nominate.
So I'm going to be nominated, please.
Get my red here. I'll nominate our current chairperson as the chairperson for the upcoming year.
Who?
Chairman Fowler. Kent Fowler.
He said
Yeah.
Kurt.
No.
Yes. I second that.
Okay.
Me.
Okay. Very good. And then the vice chair, is that next?
Yep.
I'm going to nominate Tracy Johnstone.
I second that.
Okay.
I second that.
Careful to miss a meeting, right?
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Motion passes unanimously.
Yeah.
She was voluntold.
Miss a meeting, guess what
Okay.
happens? Cool.
Consent agenda.
Okay, we actually have 3 items on the consent agenda. They are the minutes from the January 28th meeting, the financial report, and a resolution to clarify the election process for the chair and vice chair, in case we don't have the representatives named for the January meeting. So there's just the 3 items on the consent agenda.
And they can all be approved with one motion,
Okay.
unless there's a desire to pull one.
Motion to approve?
Second?
Motion passes unanimously.
Okay, so we just took care of 2 and 3, correct?
Yep.
So our quarterly SPF financial update,
Yep, we did all those.
Yep. So we can go to number 6 now.
item number 5.
6.
That's done too? All of them, okay. So we'll move on to regular business, item number 6. The committee will receive information regarding the 26 NOFA applications.
Okay, so the NOFA was released as $200,000 total, 50% for the historic downtown district and 50% for the Riverbend Park area. The percentages were chosen by the committee to allow funds from either of those to be moved one to the other if it could happen, okay? And so what we're going to do is hear each one of the applicants. We have some obviously in the audience here. They will have an opportunity to present or speak about their application. A few of them have slideshows or videos, so you'll get a chance to see that. Once we've made it through all of the applications, then we'll go back and the committee will entertain a motion, first and a second, either approving or not approving. It requires for those of you that are here, requires a super majority vote, which means that at least one person from the Park District and one person from the city of Oroville and one additional person has to approve the motion. So minimum of 3 votes for an approval. Of the 3 votes, 1 must be the city and 1 must be the Park District. Okay? And so, any questions on that?
No.
Okay? So, in your packet, on page 33, the first application is for funds for the Riverbend Park area. It was from the East Center. That application has been withdrawn. So we will move on to the next application for the Riverbend Park area, and that's page 47 of your packet. This is an application from the Native Sons of the Golden West for funds to assist them in placing a California state flag memorial in Riverbend Park. And so do we have a speaker from the Native Sons?
We do not.
Do not. Okay. We have questions from the committee on the application. They provided information with their matching funds, actually 50% versus the 5% that the committee had asked for. And they actually plan on naming this location the Congressman Doug LaMalfa Memorial Freedom Flagpole. And it would be on a knoll facing out to Highway 70, very visible from 70. You probably will be able to see it from parts of the downtown, I would almost think, and definitely throughout Riverbend Park. Okay, we'll move on to the next item.
Committee Member Thompson?
Yes, thank you. Just as a, because you're,
I'm a member of Native Sons, yes.
you can answer my question. So just a question on the choice, I mean, obviously, I'm a big flag person. And big flag, I'm a big flag person. Just as a curiosity, because Doug was a U.S. representative as opposed to a California representative, the choice on a California flag versus a U.S. flag?
Okay, so the purpose of the flag originally was to have a California Republic bear flag flying high in Oroville because no one ever flies the bear flag. It's always red, white, and blue, which is a great flag.
It is
I love
a
it.
great flag.
Before he was a congressman, Doug LaMalfa was a state senator, state assembly member, and I'm sure other things before that. So he's done a lot of representation for California. This came after the fact that he had passed, and we were already working on this project, and it just seemed very fitting. It was a natural fit that his name be attributed, because he too was a native son of the Golden West, and he was a great representative of California, so I just found it to be a natural fit, and that's where it lies.
What if, just as another just point of conversation, I think this will be the tallest flag in Oroville.
It'd be probably just under equal to the Liberty Pole.
But on the knoll, it would make it,
It'd be higher, yes.
it'd be higher.
I think it's gonna have a greater sense of visibility.
So what if we put the California flag on the Liberty pole and the U.S. flag on this one? Is it, because there's a U.S. flag here, and then there's like 2 U.S. flags
I
downtown.
don't know what that committee of the downtown people would say about that. So that's a whole nother discussion. That's a possibility, but
The Park District at Riverbend does have a U.S. flag there already.
We do.
It's in the roundabout as you pull into Riverbend Park. So there'd be the U.S. flag as you pull in, and then the California flag up on the hill.
Correct.
Correct.
Anyway, I'm in favor of the project. I just, maybe we can, because the US flag should be the highest.
I'm not prepared to change that.
Okay.
Yeah, at this time.
Well, let me ask Mr. Ring, we had some issues about flags, and is it okay to run the US flag and the California flag on the same pole?
Yeah, just the American flag has to be up.
Yeah.
Right, okay. But we have difficulty in running the Tree City flag on the same pole.
Yes. I know that there are some legal ramifications with regards to flags, and I know I spoke to Dave about this about, I don't know, 2 months ago. If you want to.
I did provide a memo on the flag code, so it's permissive, but gives recommendations for proper etiquette.
Yeah.
So I'll make sure that that's available for your review if you like.
What if you just flew them both?
Well, the purpose is to display the bear flag, and that's the whole thing, is to have some California pride. You know, we have some contention, and I think the bear flag would be a great unifying force for everybody, because it's our state flag, and we need to be reminded of that. That was the real big purpose. But I do hear you. Go ahead.
So Brian probably could answer this question better than I. This project also needs to be brought before the board of the Park District for approval, and has that happened yet?
Yes. Well,
No, that it has.
preliminary.
So the Native Sons of the Golden West presented this project when they presented the electric train trestle project. Both projects were approved to move forward for further discussion. So in theory, this project does have district support, and we appreciate the opportunity to work with the Native Sons on a second project in Riverbend. This would need to go to the board for final approval regarding the final specifics of the install, because I'm sure the Park District would want to add additional features in addition to the flag to make it a more desirable destination within the park. But the short answer is yes, the district is in support. Final decisions would need to go before the entire board for final approval.
Thank you.
You got that into the queue.
Committee Member Reynolds, please.
Thank you. So I'm in agreement with this project, but Committee Member Thompson is correct about the flag etiquette, and I believe there are legalities involved, but being that it's being flown separately, I don't, the only flag in the state flag in the United States that could be flown at the same level as the United States flag is the state of Texas, and that's because they are their own union. Every other state has to fly a little bit lower, but it might be if they're on the same pole. I don't think it's a topography thing, because then we would be getting into elevations and things like that. So it might be, there might be a loophole here, but that is the legalities of the flags. So he's right. The United States flag is supposed to be above the California flag, but if they're not on the same pole.
If they're on the same pole.
If they're on
correct.
the same pole.
This is just
yes.
flying the bear flag.
Yes.
How much would it cost for another pole?
We're looking at 20 plus. With, lighting and, yeah. And this is, I'm gonna say, almost vandal proof. It's a good pole. They can't damage it and steal the flag, and
Sure. Like I said, I'm a big flag guy.
hey, we need more flags, but
Well,
one project at a time.
I'm not sure if I'm the only one, but when I drive down the freeway, I hit Reading and I see that huge.
Yes, so Reading, City of Santa Monica, I believe Stockton, and there's a few other cities that have huge flags.
They say do it once, do it right. Anyway, I'm not opposed to the California flag. I know we have a lot of things we're gonna talk about today, but yeah, I love the California flag. I'm especially though prone to the American flag.
Okay. Thank you.
All right.
Any other comments? Okay.
Okay, we'll move on then to the next item, which is on page 65. It's an application for in the historic downtown district area from Cultivate Power Fighting Arts doing business as Feather River Grappling. The application's for $50,000. We received a complete application. They provided information with 122% match of funds. They have also, I verified that they have a hold on the convention center for their 2027 event that is part of their application. And we do have a speaker, and the speaker would introduce himself, and then Kayla, I believe, has your PowerPoint.
Hello, everybody. I'm Gerald Thompson, otherwise known as Coach Gerald.
Welcome.
And then, sir, if you'd like, you can advance your slides on your own. There's a clicker right there.
Thank you. Bear with me, guys. I'm kind of a dinosaur.
Sure.
Come on up here. I'm here with my wife, Jennifer, as well. So a little bit about us. We run Cultivate Power Fighting Arts across the street. I'm on the school board as well. You know, I'm really passionate about health and fitness for kids. You guys have heard me rant, you know, if you haven't yet, you probably will. I'm a big advocate of trying to get Orville healthy and strong. What we didn't put on here, and I know a lot of you guys are asking, we're starting our next project right next to our gym. It's going to be a kids strength training facility, Ninja Warrior, climbing. You know, we're trying to get kids moving and obviously having fun while they do it. So I'm real big on that. I'll try not to rant too much about it, but I want kids being strong around here. So board member, you know, we founded the Youth Forge, and I'll talk more about the Orville Youth Forge. That's a nonprofit project, but it's just something that we're trying to get, you know, raising funds from the community, reaching out to get more kids involved that might not be able to afford it, or if they have a financial barrier, we're trying to take care of that. We've been on that news multiple times for what we're doing in the community. We ran a Path to Power event last year, and then this year just trying to get more, you know, more focus on health and fitness and things like that. So we've been running community events, school demonstrations. We do in-house competitions as well, trying to get people, you know, training. We got one going on this week, actually, which we tried to set it up this weekend because we have Feather Fiesta days, and we wanted to just get, you know, so we got a crew of people coming from Chico, Reading, Willows also with bringing some competitors. But again, just trying to get more people downtown, you know, and then go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Mitch. I'm the owner of Cultivate Power Fighting Arts. Along for the ride for all this.
So just without going down everything, yeah, she's the superstar. Without her, I'd be a big mess. So what we're trying to do, we're trying to bring a jiu-jitsu tournament to Orville. Feather River Grappling Series. We named it series because we'd like to get at least 3 a year. So it would be a reoccurring event we want to bring downtown. You know, we've been trained in martial arts for, I'm going on 20 years now, and I still compete. Jennifer still competes. My daughter's an avid competitor. I don't compete as much as I'd like to just because we got a group of, we're about 30 some odd competitors now, and so, you know, we got a growing competition team at our school, and we're really putting our energy in the kids, you know, and bringing them up. So this is what we're trying to do. We would like to get it on the docket this year in November and then February, and we would have it set up in the late spring around this time next year if we could. Trying to set it up around the seasonal events that we do in Orville. So, you know, one of the things in regards to jiu-jitsu tournaments, and I'll talk more about some specific tournaments, but there is a huge hole in Northern California. We mainly go to Stockton 3 to 4 times a year. That is where we compete at. There is a lot of tournaments in the Sacramento area, but outside of Sacramento, there's this huge gap. There's no tournaments between Sacramento and I believe Eugene, Oregon. So and I'm really surprised myself that we haven't, some of the big schools in Reading haven't put a tournament on, but there's a huge hole. So Orville would be a great place to do it. People drive, and I'll get to that. So the event we're trying to put on, initially, we're looking at 400 to 500 competitors, so parents, friends, all that kind of stuff, spectators. You're looking at drawing anywhere from 1,500 to 2,500 people per event. We would need to hire a crew, so you're looking at 25 to 30 jobs, something like that. Again, 3 times a year for the event. And again, I talked about the regional gap. There's no jiu-jitsu in Northern California, jiu-jitsu tournaments. Jiu-Jitsu World League, I really like that organization. We're modeling what we're doing off of Jiu-Jitsu World League. They sell out every time in Stockton. For years, they've been doing that with over 2,700 competitors usually, 2,700 competitors, depending on the event that they're doing. They pack the Stockton arena, so that's just an example. Like, jiu-jitsu is the fastest growing martial art sport there is right now. And, so they're packing the Stockton arena, and they're just some examples of how we could, bring a lot of energy downtown Orville. Athletes like us, for instance, we travel over 2 hours to get to Stockton. So, I know people in Reading that travel, from Reading down to Stockton. So a jiu-jitsu competitor it's not unheard of to travel, 4 or 5 hours or more. Obviously, hotels, restaurants, and things like that. So that's just how it is in the jiu-jitsu world. Again, no major tournaments in Orville right now. So, I also think this brings a kind of a unique, interesting aspect to sports to Orville. So, again, demand already exists. Jiu-jitsu is a fast-growing sport. Athletes are traveling, and nothing in Northern California. So. We ran some numbers. I tried to be real conservative about this. Say we get 1,500 competitors. I've seen anything from an average spend of 50. I was looking at an article today from, I forget, it was one of the U.S. Travel Association maybe, that I've seen up to $200 a day. It depends how far people travel, because what we did, we just were conservative, like, hey, people will come for the day, but obviously you're looking at a lot more in terms of economic impact if people are traveling further for the hotels and things like that. No matter what, I can tell you from experience, we're going down, when we drive down to Stockton, we're eating breakfast, we're eating lunch, we're hanging out with the competitors and things like that. It's generally an all-day event. A lot of it, take the parents, if they got 2 or 3 kids, they're going to be at a place for a few hours. Us coaches, those are long days, those are 10-hour days. So, but we were trying to be conservative, that, you're looking at $50,000 to $75,000 potentially per event for the economic impact. I just wanted to address that because this is an ongoing event that could potentially bring, thousands of people to Orville multiple times a year. So, there's that. I wanted to talk a little bit about the Youth Forge project. Some of the proceeds, we're going to initially start donating 10% of the proceeds from every event into the Orville Youth Forge so we can reinvest in the community. I want to kind of segue a little bit. I'm on the school board, and one of the things about the Youth Forge that motivated me to start the Youth Forge was that there's a lot of kids that are kind of left out of the athletics in the school system. The kids that are having problems, that have attendance problems, emotional problems like frustration, anger, and things like that, a lot of times they won't get access to these after-school sports. I have been a huge voice for Orville City Elementary School Board or School District to get more athleticism, more athletic programs into the school, and it's happening. I just met with the superintendent on Monday, and he was telling me that the athletics now are better than they've been in a long time. We're getting flag football and soccer and basketball all the way into the elementary schools again. So I'm pretty happy about that. But one of the things that's interesting about combat sports in particular, and I got many examples of parents that'll call me when their kid's in a traditional sport like basketball or soccer, and they got anger issues and they want to put hands on people, and that kind of sport's not good for them. But the combat sports really helps the kids with their emotional issues, especially anger and frustration. And if you guys ever played any sports, soccer, basketball, it can get physical. And sometimes kids that have those anger problems have a hard time with things like that. I know, just speaking from experience, I was really hot when I was young, and the combat sports really helped me develop that higher level of emotional intelligence. And that's again why when we started the Youth Forge, because a lot of these kids that really need it, that might not be able to afford it, maybe they're growing up in rough households or something like that, this kind of stuff would do really well for them. Another thing that's unique in regards to the combat sports and martial arts is that we have lifelong mentorship potential. I mean, you know, I've had coaches that I've trained with for 10 plus years, and some of these kids are growing up with us. So I think that's a neat thing too. But that's a little bit about the Youth Forge and ultimately combat sports. It's a little bit different than sports, because I know Orville has some great programs, great basketball programs, great soccer programs. But again, with what we're doing with jiu-jitsu, it's, you know, it separates it. It's a little bit different. So again, in regards to what we're meeting with, you know, with the goals for the grant and what you guys are trying to do, we're bringing a lot of people downtown. It's going to be, you know, multiple events throughout the year, thousands of people potentially. And this is just initially. I got a lot of good connections. I've been in Butte County grappling for 20 years, so I know all the, you know, I've trained, if there's a black belt in Butte County, most likely I've trained with them. So, you know, everybody that I've talked to so far would be really stoked not to drive, you know, 3-4 hours and spend the day for a competition. You know, and we got some good schools in Chico, Reading, Yuba City, Marysville, things like that. You know, it's going to generate a lot of revenue, hotels, potentially, you know, dining, fuel, retail, all that good stuff, especially if we have the event at the convention center, because we will pack that convention center, and obviously a lot of people are going to be hanging out downtown at the restaurants and stuff like that. So the neat thing about this is with the grant, the biggest, and I'll go on the next slide and talk a little bit more detailed about where the funds are going to go, but this is going to be self-sustaining really quick, so it's an ongoing process. We just need to, you know, help with the startup with the mats mainly. But, you know, we have the rest of the funds. We're obviously putting, you know, a bunch down. I got a ton of volunteers at our gym because, again, we have a lot of competitors over there, and they're going to be real happy not to have to drive. We talked about the Youth Forge. You know, the Youth Forge will be able to actually sponsor some of the fees or what it would take to compete, you know, for kids that are really about it. You know, draws competitors from all over California. So this is big on bringing a lot of people, you know, the tourism to Orville, you know, and again, we want to do it around the seasons where, you know, people can capitalize off the beautiful wildflower season, you know, the summertime festivals, the salmon festival, you know, Orville's nice. I don't got to tell you guys that. So again, you know, we're looking at initially a $110,000 project. The biggest expenses that are going to be on here are the mats initially, and then a trailer for storage. We want a trailer to store it and move it. That obviously we don't have to pay ongoing storage fees, but as it grows, you know, and by the time Orville gets its real big event center, we'll be able to fill the mats with that. You know, being to many tournaments over the years, we'll be able to pack the convention center fairly easy. And again, because of the gap in tournaments in Northern California, you know, we're going to get a lot of draw just from Northern California, but it's, you know, but we'll be attracting people from obviously Sacramento, the Bay Area, you know, as it grows. So, so when Orville gets its bigger event center that we're waiting for, we'll be able to move forward with that too. But those are the two biggest expenses. Right after that, I mean, it's sustainable, and this is a project that can bring a lot of energy to Orville for years to come. You know, I mean, some of these tournaments are 40 years old. You know, when you get into the IBJJF, the Worlds and things like that, Jiu-Jitsu World League, I believe it's a 25-year-old organization. So these things, you know, Jiu-Jitsu's only growing right now. So there's that. And I believe that's it. So we're asking for $50,000, and questions from you guys?
Thank you. Committee Member Reynolds.
Thank you. I really like the everything about this project, especially with the projected economic impact, 3 to 4 times a year. That's reoccurring, and that's what we need. We used to have this type of impact with bass tournaments with the lake. I don't know why they went away, but it used to be a really big deal here several times a year, and this sounds like the same energy, and it's something that I'm not familiar with tapping into that, but I'm glad you are.
Yeah.
And I'm glad you're here. I think you have a good business, and I think that you have some really positive things to offer the community.
Yeah,
So,
thank you.
thank you.
Any other questions?
Fire away.
No, I'm good. Thank you.
Okay.
Nice
Thank
presentation.
you.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. Appreciate your time.
Okay, the next item is in your packet on page 83. It's an application from the Fraternal Order of Eagles, number 196, FOE 196. They are asking for $75,000. Primarily, the funds are to refurbish the historic building that they own in the downtown district. And we do have a person with a presentation. And if you would state your name, please, and make sure and use the microphone because these meetings are recorded for future listening to and for legal purposes.
Great, I understand, thank you. My name is Trevor Coates, and I'm currently the worthy president of the Fraternal Order Eagles here at 196. We have a couple members actually that are sitting on the board, on the chair people on the board right now. We have a monumental project that is came before us with the restoration and renovation of our building downtown. It is located at 2010 Montgomery Street, and we are less than 500 feet from the Feather River. Size and scope, we have just over 6,000 square feet of building to refinish and refurbish. The historical part of the building, it was erected in 1855. It was originally a bank, one of the first financial institutions in Orville. The Eagles acquired it in 1962, and since then has been a cornerstone for the community as far as charities, events, wakes, everything that you could imagine, weddings. We have fundraisers there, which, you know, members here and alike have been a part of in the community. For some of the things that we do for the community, we had an Easter egg hunt in the last 6 months. We had over 400 eggs, 200 baskets donated. We had Christmas time, we had just over 450 Christmas dinners served to the community, and also managed to give away over 200 coats to needy families during the Christmas season. We also gave away 60 scholarships through the past Madam Presidents and the past Worthy Presidents clubs within our area. With that being said, like I said, the business, it was acquired in 1962, which it became then the Eagles building. From my conversations with very senior members, probably Mr. Fowler probably has even a better history on the building than I have had, because he's very good in the history of Orville. But none of them can remember the last time that exterior of that building was addressed as far as the maintenance of it. And it is definitely becoming having a weathered look about it. So with that, like I said, we are requesting $75,000 to try to refinish and refurbish 6,200 square feet of exterior wall along the streets of Montgomery and Myers. We have over 100 volunteer hours that we can that will participate towards the grant requirements, and we have $3,750 in confirmed matching funds. We have also all the, as members, we have general contractors, HVAC contractors, entrepreneurs. We have 850 total members in the Fraternal Order Eagles at this time. So we have a lot of professional knowledge and help to help get this job done. And I think with a partnership with the city of Orville and with these grant funds, I don't think that there's anything that we can't mitigate and we can't do to make this a gem of downtown.
Okay, any questions?
Any particular, okay, Councilman Reynolds is in the queue.
Committee Member Reynolds, please.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm familiar with this building, as any of us who grew up here. It was the Bank of Italy, and I remember the last time it was refurbished, it was 1982.
Oh, yeah.
I was 18 years old, and me and my dad laid those brick on the front of that building.
Oh, cool.
So, yeah, we're familiar with the building. I think the Eagles is a good club, and I think it brings a lot to the community. So thank you.
Anybody else?
Sure.
I do.
Okay.
I just wonder, Trevor, if we can maybe include in this application a replacement of all those old metal chairs maybe as part of this.
Well,
Fine.
I tell you what, as a man that does a lot of events down there, and you've done plenty of them, Greg, and been aiding the fundraising, I would hope the shot we could probably figure
Metal
something
chairs.
out. They're horrible.
Go away.
They're a horrible, yeah, scrap metal, absolutely.
Anyway,
Yeah, thank
thanks.
you.
Okay, thank you.
Hey, thank you.
Okay, thank you. So moving on to the next item, page 100 in your packet. It's an application from the city of Oroville for street closure equipment for the historic downtown district. It includes some support elements. The application is for $48,103. The city has historically provided equipment for all of the events that occur in the downtown area and throughout the city limits. And they've reached a point where they are in need of new equipment to provide, but they also would like to, in their application, they would like to commit 2 city staff members for each event that would not only pick up but monitor the equipment, so there would be a continuity of how the equipment is used and worked with the public that has to deal with street closures.
Bob, would you repeat that page again for me?
Sure, page 100.
100, thank
Bottom
you.
right-hand corner.
While we don't have a presentation, I can add a couple comments here. The city has a number of, there's, I call them kind of anchor or staple events that the city has every year. Salmon Festival, Feather Fiesta Days, Lights Parade. There's a number of them. And historically, what's been going on right now is the equipment will be given out to the various folks that are running these events, and then those folks are responsible for setting up the events. And frankly, we would feel much more comfortable having city staff, when we're setting up street closures and making sure that it's done correctly, for the safety of the community, obviously, we feel more comfortable having the city staff be responsible for doing that. So that was one of the big reasons why we were put it in for this request. But the downtown is just a wonderful, beautiful area, and as these events continue to grow, having a more well-oiled machine to manage the streets, we think would be very beneficial to the events and drawing folks to the community.
Any questions? Committee Member Reynolds, please.
Public comment?
Did you,
I just want to know if we could participate in asking questions too or not.
Mr. Attorney?
Yeah, any item in business should account for an opportunity for public comment.
Correct, and it does. It calls for, if somebody in the public, other than the presenter, wanted to make a comment, then you would just ask the chair to speak.
Would you like to be recognized?
Yeah.
I can wait till I can jump using.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. This came up a while back, and I think that a good idea would be to, since we're using the same area all the time for these events, should be a program developed where we actually train competent people with each group that wants to have their event, and they would be the responsible party for these things rather than the city getting involved. I would think that the city would only be involved to provide training. So I don't know if, because this would turn out to be permanent funding, even though it's one-time money right now, it would go away permanently from other projects. So I'm not sure if this is, the city competing for these funds is the exact avenue for that. So that's just my opinion on that. But I think that and that's what leadership does, is it creates more leaders. And so we can't have one person always responsible, because that one person's not always available. So we need to provide a training program so we can make many people knowledgeable about what the policies are and about what the needs are from the city to keep liability at a minimum. Thank you.
Brian Flicker, please come up.
Brian Flicker, I just had a question. I've been involved in setting up a lot of those things, and I agree that that equipment is not only old and worn, we could probably buy stuff that's more durable and lighter and easier to handle and easier to store, won't require the maintenance those old wooden sawhorses do. But I am concerned as a taxpayer in this city that paying for ongoing costs of employees. I'd rather see this money spent on one-time things, because this money may not exist forever, and then we're gonna have taken that money from unaccounted for funds in the city budget. So that would be my only comment, is I'd rather see it spent on one-time funds than employees.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments? Committee Member Passmore.
Thank you. I think the Exchange Club this Saturday morning at 8 o'clock would be happy to have some help from the city at the corner of 5th and Mitchell, and closing those streets for the parade. So we could use that as a training ground as well. Thank you.
Okay, next item.
Okay, moving on to the next item on page 127. It's a request from the Oroville Downtown Business Association, ODBA. They are asking for $95,000 from the Historic Downtown District program. They would like to use it to go towards the revitalization initiative. The DBA in the past has received 2 grants from the SBF, one for marketing enhancements and one for the Miners Alley improvements. Both projects were completed and finished on time. And we do have I believe, some slides and a presenter.
Yeah, I'm just gonna introduce Natalie Sheard, who's the president of ODBA, is out of town. And she is a really good presenter. I'm not. So there's a little video for everyone's enjoyment, so you don't have to listen to me. But a couple of things, we have received money from the SBF. The marketing improvements was also with the string lights. So when for safety and improvements to walk around, so you guys actually provided us with all of the string lights that you see around. And we do keep it up, and we make sure that they're hopefully plugged in and neighbors are working together with neighbor to keep them plugged in and on. But yes, thank you for your past giving. And it's a 2-piece, just before you watch the video, 'cause the video's doesn't really go into as much detail as what you have in your packet. Hopefully they have this. So we have pictures and everything, but it is basically placemaking and marketing, and the 2 big sort of overarching pieces under that are wayfinding and aesthetics for street signs, and then a website and marketing, evergreen marketing, to try and get people to connect to the river and have a interactive map so that people know when they come here, they know there's a river, because when you're downtown, a lot of people don't even, visitors at least, don't know there's a river over the levee, and we're trying to make that connect. So that, and
Welcome to downtown Oroville. We're the ODBA, a nonprofit managed by local business owners who believe in Oroville's potential. Our mission is simple: to ensure a thriving economy in the historic downtown district through beautification, advocacy, and marketing. More than just a board, we're a community collective that unifies and protects the historic character that makes Oroville special. As stewards of this district, we make every dollar count. Volunteer Power has painted light poles, put up year-round and seasonal decorations like string lights and flags to celebrate the space. We throw the same muscle behind our events, which drive traffic to our businesses rather than outside vendors. One First Friday event can produce as much as $4,000 in receipts in a single night, and between frequently sold-out ticketed First Fridays and signature annual events such as Christmas Preview, Shop Small Saturday, and the mile-long yard sale, we're bringing the crowds back to Main Street. With the historic Downtown Oroville Revitalization Initiative, we've planned a two-pronged approach. We'll install 27 period-appropriate street signs to create a visual beacon for tourists and provide a springboard for future visual consistency. Then build a digital hub with an interactive map and a high-resolution media library to help us bring the beauty of our riverfront and downtown to the world. This project will guide visitors from the Brad Freeman Trail directly into our shops so we can turn quick day trips into multi-day stays. This will elevate an already charming destination that honors our history while fueling growth in a measurable boost to local sales tax and lodging revenues. This one-time investment will yield lasting benefits for residents and visitors to downtown Oroville for years to come. On behalf of the ODBA, our heartfelt thanks to the SBF Steering Committee for your consideration. Let's keep building downtown Oroville together.
Very nice.
Very good.
Nice. Yeah, very nice. Thank you.
Any questions or comments? Anybody from the public? Committee Member Reynolds. Please come back up.
I don't really have any questions, but what I understand, approximately a third of this is going toward marketing, which turns into somebody's salary, and I don't really think that this money is for that. I think that the Downtown Business Association is a good association, but I don't think that the line items for this meet the criteria for the descriptive terminology in distributing these funds. Thank you.
I'm up next. Oh, hold still. I
Committee
got a
Member
question for
Pittman,
you.
hold on.
Hold on, come back.
You have a question or statement?
Well, one of the things that we have is a struggle because we don't have a blank check for all these. All these proposals are wonderful, but we sit up here for some time to make decisions about yes, no, and maybe. And sometimes it's occurred where, as we look at your number requested, and we may only be able to offer you a partial funding of that. My guess is, and would it be a good guess, that if we funded a portion of it, then you would probably, I'm just guessing, you might not fix one or two street signs or something along that line in terms of a capital expenditure.
you're talking about for the street sign portion of
Yeah,
this?
yeah. Or just, any,
Yeah, I wouldn't know, I guess we could limit the blocks, like just do less.
right. There is some
Because
flexibility.
it is quite large, the space.
Yeah.
The number covers kind of the whole downtown.
Right, right.
Core.
So,
I mean,
and I'm kind of making an assumption here, but I just wanted to let you know that sometimes when we fund these, sometimes we'll give a portional funding so that you can come back and adjust to it. Yeah.
That's understandable.
Yeah, okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Any other comments?
No?
Public?
Oh.
Aaron?
Yeah, Aaron.
Just checking, I know the county was looking at doing a sign throughout the county. Do you know if they're implementing that or if this would be in line with those signs? They had talked about having several meetings of a certain style and.
Go ahead, come on up. Answer.
Please come back.
Yeah, come on back.
So, yes, there was few years ago, we did a wayfinding sort of, they hired a company to go in and say, okay, this would be all the wayfinding signs could all look like this, or they could look like this, and put some guidelines to them. This would be more of a historic restoration. But we did talk to, we do talk to Nicole, and she could see if that would be a part of it, but those are mostly like Butte County wayfind signs. So sort
Okay.
of not walking around signs, but on the freeway. And
Okay.
maybe even Oro Dam would have those specific guidelines put towards them. But when you're walking around downtown, they're more just decorative.
Okay. Yeah, I appreciate it. I remember a discussion on it, and I didn't want to
But
have
before
something
you leave-
conflicting.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm curious now, so are we speaking about the county actually taking on a new uniformity and signage? Is that what I'm hearing, or is this the Butte County Tourism?
Explore Butte County Tourism, I think they worked with the county. They worked with, there was like it's basically a group that came together and talked about what it would look like to have signage in Butte County that had like a Butte County looking
Theme.
Symbol.
Okay.
for wayfaring signs. So you're driving down Highway 70 and you're like, I'm still in Butte County. That's a cute sign with a bear on it, whatever, you know. just
Right,
something
right.
that says
Something
Butte
definitive of Butte County, right.
Way up on highway, you know, so all over, just so there was kind of a look and feel.
Right.
And they had I believe it was a marketing agency. who
Correct.
started to do a study and kind of come up with a plan. Was never implemented. Explore Butte County just wanted to see what that would look like and kind of get some optics on it.
So is this a recent speculative project, or is this from way back?
The last meeting I was in was early last year, so
Okay.
I just couldn't remember where it stood. County was taking the lead on it. Explore Butte County gave funding for it and assisted,
Yeah.
but it was the county that was kind of taking the lead. So it would be
Okay.
similar throughout the county. So Chico would have a similar sign, but they looked at having like the Sutter Buttes on the signs, and I just don't know where it ended, and I would hate to see us put signs up that were going to be conflicting or
Yeah.
have to be redone, or
So
that's why I was just double checking.
Yeah, I did talk to Nicole. Nicole wrote a letter of recommendation, so from Explore Butte County
Perfect.
for this, and you'll find that in your packet.
Yeah.
But we did talk to her about that, because we were also thinking, could we ask for wayfaring signage up on Oro Dam, like come downtown, or, you know, get people from the freeway to go downtown. And that would apply to those signs, to those wayfaring signs. But this is strictly like a street sign in the downtown area to just match the buildings and not be so modern and
No, that makes sense.
decorative. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Aaron. Great question.
Yeah.
Next item, please.
Okay, the next item starts on page 151 of your packet. It's from the Oroville Area Chamber of Commerce. They're requesting $50,000. They say that the funds will be used for multi-purposes, including wayfinding signage, outdoor information kiosk, a digital window display, and a visitor center identity enhancement. The Chamber has been the recipient of many grants from the SBF for purposes to ranging from marketing to bringing people into the downtown area and to supporting events such as the 4 anchor events in town. As a comment, I'll just make, once the FERC project 2100 is approved and the SBF begins to receive up to $1 million a year, the Chamber of Commerce automatically gets $60,000 per year from that money to do things such as they're proposing. But in the meantime, that money is not here yet. So with that, we do have a speaker.
Hi.
Hi, Amber.
Amber here from the Chambers. So, and with that 60,000, the plan has been to use it like we've used SBF funding in the past, which is for marketing, tourism promotions. So with the outline of this NOFA proposal, we saw an opportunity to use one-time funding that wouldn't require long-term maintenance for the signage. If you actually go to page 162 and 163, you can see some visualizations of what we're kind of looking forward to doing with this funding. And so, just like the DBA just said, a lot of people who come to downtown don't realize there's a river right over that levee. And us being one of the entrance buildings, once you exit Highway 70 and come down Montgomery Street, we feel this would make it a great opportunity for us to be a gateway into historic downtown Oroville, promote that Centennial Plaza, and the Feather River is just right up the street from us. Start promoting that. And then we're already the visitor center, so we're just looking to elevate it. We've had the same building for decades now, so this will just upgrade what we already are, which is the visitor center. That way, especially that outdoor kiosk will allow us to display recreational signs throughout the year 24/7. We can have the state parks DWR trail map in there. We can have the Explore Oroville map in there. We can keep it updated with upcoming events with the digital display. We can keep consistent up-to-date stuff, so for upcoming festivals, upcoming events in the downtown area. And so this is all just to elevate what we already are and give us more of a connection to that riverfront by showcasing where Centennial Plaza and the Feather River is, which is especially personal to me. I was around when Centennial Plaza got built, and it's just a beautiful underutilized park, so we just wanted to assist in that. And that's what I got. Any questions?
Thank you.
I think we're good. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Okay,
Next item, please.
The next applicant starts on page 167, is from the city of Oroville. They would be working with the city docent program, and it's regarding a proposal for the Sank Park area. Do we have a speaker from the city? We do? Okay. Thank you, Tim.
Good afternoon, Board. My name is Tim Caber. I'm the Director of Public Works for the city. This is presented and submitted in conjunction with the Sank Park docents and the Oroville Museums Docent Association. They didn't have the standing to put it in for them, so we put it in conjunction with us with a matching work with them, 20% matching. So this is for historically inspired solar lighting. Right now, the old gas lanterns at Sank Park do not work, so we'll replace those with solar lighting fixtures that look exactly like what was there and looks fits in historically. Also create a shrub row for the gazebo event. Right now, the gazebo is beautiful, but the backdrop for pictures is a little bit lacking. Street signs for wayfinding to get to Lot House and to Sank Park. We'll also do a shed for the docent association for their tools so they can keep them on site. Right now, they can't keep them on site. And we'll do some interpretive signing and some signs on grounds for native birds and the native shrubs and trees that are on site. Also do some horticultural and ecological workshops on site with the docent association. Their matching is in hours, so 100 hours of volunteer work in conjunction with SBF funds for a total of $19,000. And the two leads on this, Wade Atterbury, a city employee, Division of Parks and Trees, and Diane Brown, member of the Museum Docent Association and Friends of Sank Park. Subject to any questions?
Any comments? Anybody from the public?
Nice presentation. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, I like this one a lot. History, horticulture, it's all there in this one. Good project. Thank you.
I would mention, I should have, when I was doing the introduction of everything, that the city has applied for grants in the past. They've applied for several. They've only had one approved by the SPF Steering Committee, and it was for $4,000. It's for the little park in front of the Bolt Museum. And they actually did it in 2007. They received $4,000 from the SPF, and the city put in the difference to create that nice little neighborhood corner park. Okay?
Thank you.
Okay, moving on then.
Committee Member Passmore.
So, Bob, that was the one and only time, was 2007 that we were awarded, the city was awarded, and nothing since?
The city has applied for other grants for different purposes.
Right.
That they've received awards for. But for parks or anything related to parks, they had applied but had not had them approved. They only had one approved, though, in the entire time that the SBF has been in existence.
A long while.
Long time. Okay, then, moving on to page 185. This is from the Rotary Club of Oroville, known also as the Monday Club Foundation, Inc. They are restoring beautiful lighting to the historic Table Mountain Bridge, doing it with decorative lighting. They had an initial cost estimate, I believe, to do the project of $400,000. It moved up to $550,000. They have raised over $400,000 plus $100,000 grant from the SBF, which was, I believe, the seed money to get the project going back in 2022. So we do have both a speaker and we also have a presentation.
Welcome.
Good afternoon, committee. It dawned on me as we were sitting here that we were here 5 years ago for the same purpose, and at that point in time, we did so through plexiglass. So it is nice to be able to present to you today without barriers. My name is Dean Gurr. I am a Rotarian with Rotary Club of Oroville and chairman of the Oroville Lights Project. I'm joined with several other Rotarians that are in the house today to show support for the final stage of this project. Okay, so we started again 5 years ago, and you have been on this journey ever since. When we were here 5 years ago, we simply had this titled as the Bridge Lighting Project to illuminate the Table Mountain Bridge. This is our centennial effort from the Rotary Club of Oroville to do something meaningful, impactful, and long-lasting for our community. Thankfully, you saw our vision, which started with looking back upon the history of our community, where this was a celebratory centerpiece for Oroville and Oroville's Water Carnival back in the early 1900s. This festival was all about celebrating the richness of the water that flows down through the center of our community. And it's the same spirit that drives our initiative today. And looking back, and what is still relevant today is this project has many benefits for the community of Oroville. It's going to bring some ambiance, vitality, culture, class, and community pride to our city. Not to mention economic growth and expanded tourism, which will benefit not only the entire community of Oroville, but more specifically the downtown business district. And you bought into the vision. You saw where we were headed. You've been along for the ride, and I want to thank you, number one, for the initial $100,000 grant to kick off this project. Quite honestly, without that kick in the pants, I don't think myself or the Rotary Club may have had the confidence to do a project of this magnitude and of this importance. So I want to thank you for your initial support of the project. Just kind of going through the timeline, 2022 was spent with the Rotary Club building the brand, building the plan, establishing the partners, and launching the fundraising of this project. In April of 2022, we had our kickoff on the bridge, which gave us an immediate $30,000 boost in our fundraising efforts for that day. Many of you were there, and I appreciate your participation and support along the way. This is a project of this scope. We didn't want to do this without having some corners filled by other people that have been down this road before. We initially contacted Light the Hone, which is a project, a community-funded project in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Much bigger project than ours, but still very parallel in its scope and impact on the community. They led us to a company called Signify, which is a subsidiary of the Phillips Electric Corporation. They were very willing to work with us to develop a plan to light the bridge. They did so without any initial cost to the Rotary Club of Oroville, for which we're very thankful. But we got together a plan and some visuals to light both the west, east sides of the bridge as well as the walkway, the roadway over the bridge. And by the time we got these plans, they put together a rough estimate of what this might cost. And the cost came in at $3 to $3.5 million. And after I scraped my brains off the ceiling, I asked them, okay, so let's just light one side of the bridge. What do you think that'll cost? And we got it down to a paltry $2 to $2.5 million to light one side of the bridge. So that's when we went back to I went back to my club and had some heart-to-hearts with our club and said, okay, club, what are we going to do? And we decided to do what we have done for the last 100 years in this community, and that is roll up our sleeves, identify projects of importance, and bring them to reality. So that's where we stand today. In 2023, we made local strategic partners. We partnered with Wonder Lighting and Controls, that is just outside the Bay Area, for the sourcing of the lights, as well as the programming, and they will be our partners to go into final commissioning of the bridge. Mountain Design Group of Chico, with a local representative here in Oroville as the lead, was our designer and engineers on the project. Following year, we contracted with MC Squared, who designed our interactive website for the project, including Find My Light features on the website. And most importantly, the biggest piece of the puzzle was Star Energy Management. Star Energy, if you're not familiar with them, they are a local business. They are family owned by the Burkholz family. And they deal mostly with municipalities and larger businesses throughout the state of California. We're real fortunate to have them in as a partner on this project. And in the end of 2024, we had our Blueprint of Brilliance. Also, many of you were involved in that particular kickoff to begin the construction of the process, which took place mostly through 2025. It was all about getting lights on the bridge. So this is a Star Energy crew working on the bridge here. And we have installing LED floods there. We have since installed LED nodes as were designed on the project. I'm happy to announce to this committee that this project, Phase 1, the west side lighting of the Table Mountain Bridge, is activation ready. Lights are on the bridge. We are awaiting scheduling, and they are anticipated starting next week with a successful application from this SBF. They're ready to start as early as next week. As far as goal alignment, I think the initial investment in this project speaks volumes to the goal alignment with the SBF. It enhances recreation, it drives tourism and regional visitation, supports economic development and increasing foot traffic to historic downtown, strengthens community connection, activates existing infrastructure without expanding environmental footprint. It creates ongoing community engagement, aligns with the waterfront development and placemaking goals for the river corridor, provides broad public benefit with free inclusive access, and it leverages prior investment to bring a nearly completed asset to full operation. The Table Mountain Bridge is a centerpiece of our downtown. It's an icon in Oroville, and it is quite literally the poster child of this SBF conceptual plan. I think it's a perfect fit. I can't think of a better project that touches literally the Feather River in multiple points and connects two major parts of our community. This is also not only fueled by the SBF, but it is fueled by our community. We have several major donors illustrated here on the screen who have been generous And this doesn't even touch the multitude of individual donors and private citizens who have purchased a light on the bridge and made their dedications thereon to make this project a reality. So again, we have Phase 1 West Side activation ready. The total project did grow to $550,000. We have raised over $502,000 to date. And to finish the project, we're looking for, and this is a rounded number, $48,800 for full activation of the project. Again, activation ready, it's community supported. There's an immediate impact on the community of Oroville. And the exact ask, it's cut off there, it's $48,000, $48,719.08 is the actual ask of this committee. And I think it's important to point out that the matching funds for this project is 272%. That means for every dollar invested by the SBF on this project, the community has returned an investment of $2.72. So, Cole, would you consider that a good investment? Okay. In addition, by bootstrapping this project and becoming project managers, which we didn't really have the intention of doing, we've saved the community over $1 million on this project. It will, if successful today, it will be just in time to help celebrate our nation's 250th birthday. We are looking forward to this being a very unique celebration of our Independence Day, and Oroville Lights would like to be a part of that with special shows scheduled for the 3rd and 4th of July. We hope to have a simulcast to go along with that. And if our funds are approved by the SBF, we will make sure the SBF is the title sponsor for those shows for the Independence Weekend. So committee, we're asking you to once again roll up your sleeves with the Rotary Club of Oroville and help us finish this project and bring light to our community. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Committee Member Thompson.
It's funny, my brain is just funny. My first question was going to be, well, what's the nexus to the river with this one?
The nexus?
Yeah,
to river.
the distance
You
to the
can't
river.
get closer.
You will get your feet wet.
We're in it.
But no, what in all seriousness, what I do appreciate about your whole committee, and I think it is a pattern for anybody who is applying to the SBF, is the community support and donations. You know, as you pointed out, the amount of funds that have been donated by the community on top of what the SBF has done. And I think that that is a pattern that we all who apply for these funds should mimic, is not just, you know, asking for funds here, but also showing donations from the community on top of that, which you guys have clearly gone above and beyond and shown the not just vocal community support, but you know, put your money where your mouth is support that you guys have done. So good job.
Thank you.
Yeah. And will I get to hit the switch? I'm just
We're
joking.
gonna raffle that one
Just
off.
joking.
There you go.
I want to end it in a
Tickets
joke.
available next week.
Joke.
Yeah.
Committee Member Pittman.
Yeah, thank you. Obviously, I'm going to be very brief, but one of the things that I've been told many times is a small community of Trinity, and they have the Trinity River and they have the bridge. Normally in Trinity, there's a population of about 1,000. When they light that bridge up, the population triples, 3,000. So I think that I've been told many times the branding of this as a light for Oroville is going to speak volumes to the history of what goes on and how we do things. So I just want to compliment that, not only as a Rotary member, but just as an SBF member. This is exactly what we're supposed to be doing up here. Because this was a project nobody conceived during the negotiations of the dam relicensing. And that's exactly why the SBF exists, because who knew this was going to happen and be existing as an idea. The other thing I wanted to mention too, and just not that I'm trying to highlight any of the huge amount of donations that have occurred, but you might let the committee know that even the contractor the Star threw in some donations, so you might mention that to the
Yes,
rest of the group.
again, speaking about that piece of the puzzle, Star Energy was instrumental in helping keep our costs, around the $500,000 mark. They came in at just under $300,000 for their bid, their successful bid to build this project. All other bids that came in were at or over $500,000 strictly for installation. So they're very community-minded, and they sharpen their pencils very sharp. And they did have we did have about a $15,000 contingency in that bid. They went over by about $10,000. And rather than come to us with change orders or so forth, they absorbed that and have donated $10,000 to the project themselves.
That's all I got.
Any other comments from the public?
Yep, Mr. Passport's
Mr. Passport.
Dean, can you touch on how this project affects any and or, overall maintenance to that bridge in the long term? And I'm not even sure who's, responsible for the maintenance.
County.
Well, Rotary Club will keep our sleeves rolled up for that purpose. We of course, if successful today, we will have some operational costs to see us through the first year. And we will have ongoing fundraising. We will have ongoing, there's still lights on the bridge that are available for dedication and purchase. So that will help fund it. The maintenance of it, the actual physical maintenance of it, thankfully we have a local contractor. When we went with Signify, we would have someone from out of town, their boots on the ground. The lights that we chose to go on the bridge are easily updated, easily changed if we have issues with them, and a relatively low cost to the product we were looking at before. If one light went out, we'd have to replace the whole chain. These are individually hot swappable, so maintenance should be low. The biggest expense will be the ongoing PG&E bill, which we really, at this point, we don't know exactly what it's going to be. We have had estimates, from a couple $100 a month to more. We don't know until we get boots on the ground and get that light switched. The Hone project in Milwaukee is a very large project. They have an agreement with their local municipality that they will cover $250 worth of electricity a month. The project is responsible for the overage. To date, there haven't been any overages there. So it's all LED, so it's a pretty low impact on the grid.
All right, thanks. Committee Member Pittman?
Yeah, you might speak to the other issue that some citizens have been concerned about the potential vandalism, that type of thing. What was done in the thought of vandalism to the lights?
Well, I can tell you it added significantly to the cost of the project. That's why we, the first thing that added to the cost of the project when we came here, we talked about a figure of $400,000. That was early 2021 when we really hadn't felt the impact of the COVID supply chain issues and costs that perpetuated everything. So we immediately tacked on an extra $100,000 for that purpose. And then there has been an additional, probably about $40,000 that have been added to vandal protection in this project. So we've designed everything. All the light placement has been with that in mind. There have been safeguards, additional equipment installed, gates, all the equipment, all the control and electrical panels are on the top piers of those. And Star Energy custom designed gates and access hatches that are vandal proof. Well, let me say, vandal resistant would be the right term. I don't know if anything's vandal proof, but we have put a lot of thought into that.
Cool.
Committee Member Reynolds?
Thank you. Dean, I might have missed it in your original presentation, but what were the original lights?
That's hard to speculate exactly what they were. We do know they were electrical lights. We have some pictures that actually show they were lanterns, actually. What powered them, I don't know. But they were electric lights on strings, and they had electric lanterns that were hung both along the riverbank and across the bridge.
Okay, thank you. And then one other point, from what I understand, the materials that were used, because a lot of people want to know if the bridge is going to be painted, not in this project, but hopefully in the future. The bridge is owned by the county.
Right.
And so they have ownership of it. But if we were fortunate enough to be able to move forward to paint it, all of the materials that were used for the electrical are completely paintable.
Correct.
Yes.
That is correct, yes. And also the lights themselves, the nodes are installed with magnets, very heavy-duty magnets. And so when it comes time to make that, they should be able to just pop them off, scrape, paint, do what they need to do, and they go right back on. So it's built with that in mind. And yeah, that's partly the vision of this project is to bring some visibility to that icon, and so the community realizes how important it is.
Right.
And we're hopeful that the county at some point will make painting a priority, but I don't see it happening in the near future at all.
I think that most of us who grew up here have quite an investment on there with side mirrors off of our vehicles.
I have heard those
When we were
stories,
learning to drive, we all left a few laying on that bridge.
The front of my 280Z.
Yeah.
Yeah, very true.
Thank
Okay,
you.
we have a person from the public that wants to speak.
Yeah.
Brian Flinker, I just wanted to further address, I don't remember if it's Greg or Kent that asked the question, but ongoing costs for electrical and that. One of the big things that's really cool about this project is that we're making available to the public that they can rent it for a light show. So if you have a Cinco de Mayo, you want to do red, green lights, or the 250th, 4th of July, red, white, and blue, one of the ones that really sold me on it was the Home Bridge did a birth reveal. So, you know, the blue lights chase the pink lights, and the pink lights chase the blue lights, and then it all turned blue. So but people are able to rent that bridge at a cost, and we plan on using that money to help defray the ongoing electrical costs.
What does that cost? Any idea?
We haven't established the price for
Have
it
not
yet.
established prices yet. I'll let you know as soon as that happens.
Thank you. Community Member Pittman.
Yeah, that's all I was gonna add is the factor that it's gonna be an event center, which also is something we're not really talking about, but that's the thing about it. You know, you can have a dinner there or a special event or a variety of things, which speaks to a future revenue stream to support it, so. Yeah, thank you.
Well, I'm just going to say I'm very excited. I was for this project way before it ever was. And I want to say thank you in Rotary. Great job. And we're going to get it done. Thank you.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Okay, moving on to page 200. We have an application from the Lake Oroville Area Garden Club. They are asking for $2,500. They provided information regarding matching funds of 53%, even though the committee had asked for only 5%. They plan on doing a complete refreshment of the historic Eman Home landscaping, which if you've driven by it recently on Lincoln Avenue, it's pretty sad looking. And they also plan on putting 2 antique pieces of equipment to complement the olive industry. The applicants would also be working with the Butte County Historical Society, and this is the first time that they are applying for funds from the SBF. We do have a speaker and I believe some slides.
Welcome.
Good afternoon, committee. My name is Gina, and I'm with the Garden Club. So, let me see. Okay, it's on the first slide. So what we're doing here is we're only asking for the $2,500. We do have more than matching funds. The very first phase of this project would be to start. We've already done a lot of the pruning. So the olive tree is now a tree shape. Before it was not. And then the side bushes, they were just super overgrown. We trimmed those down to maybe this high from this high. I couldn't reach, but we have those long ones. And we are a small but mighty group of volunteers from the Garden Club, and we meet there every Monday after, or every other Monday, but now that's more sunny, it's gonna be every Monday. So we're trying to bring in all the, we already did the sign, the flowers around the sign to give it visibility, a little bit of more of a aesthetically pleasing. There is a lot of, with the historic walking tours, so everybody now that has been going has been commenting on the little garden sign. In the future, we want to put a little light, maybe some LED solar lights and stuff like that. But right now, we're concentrating on the very first phase. We want to do around the building, pollinator plants, natives, also fire resistant, because, you know, we are in a fire zone prone area, and that is what it looked like, and that is what it's looking like now, and as you see in the slideshow. We are gonna start doing more around on the north side, so towards the back. We're gonna continue on with the pollinator gardens, and we are doing already around the olive tree. We have the bender boards, and we've put in little pebbles to kind of, you know, delineate, make a line around the tree, and we're gonna start putting lavender. Well, there's gonna be more plants, but it's a work in progress, and as you can see, there's more pollinator plants and native plants also going on in there. So we have, let me see, the next slide. We have more pictures. We're trying to bring, instead of the grass, because right now the grass is it's too much water going on into the grass. We're gonna try to do a ground cover, maybe some flagstones, something to mitigate the lowering of the water costs for the Eman home. We are we are partnering with the Historic Club, so they'll be letting us know what their vision is, and we're working together. We have our liaison, Peggy Adamson, from that club, and Daniel, of course, with the Historic Walking Tours and that club. And you see a picture of what it looked like, and then what it looked like now. That's it. So thank you for your consideration, and any questions?
Committee Member Pittman.
Just to give us a perspective too, how many members of your club are out doing the work? I know I see them on Mondays, but just a ballpark.
Maybe about 6 or 7, that's all we are. For the Eman Club, and then, because we go right after the Montgomery Planners, we go to the Eman
Right.
on Mondays. And then Wednesday, we're going to the veterans, and so maybe about 6 total.
It's a great asset to the community. I just want to throw out a thank you for that, because you make the things really look good, so thank you.
We've gotten a lot of compliments. We have a lot of people honking their horn, telling us, keep up the good work, and so we're like,
Yeah.
yay, we're very proud of it, and
It's cool.
we have 4 projects: the atrium, the Eman, the Montgomery Planters, and now the Veterans Memorial.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
I have a statement. So
Yes.
you might remember, maybe a month ago, 6 weeks ago, I saw you on Montgomery Street, and then I circled back with my chores of the day, and you were at the Eman home, and I took a lot of photos of you guys. And I put them on Facebook, and that was one of my biggest likes. So thank you for all your hard work. You're doing a great job. And just for the public, if you guys don't know me, I'm in almost every single one of your groups, or have been. So it's going to be very difficult.
Yeah.
Keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, we
You got,
appreciate all the help.
Oh, question.
Committee Member Reynolds.
Thank you. So, a few years ago, when the development went in with the olive orchard up on Grand and Table Mountain, the historical pillars there were demoed because they wanted them to be preserved, and some of them were hauled down to the Eman home because it was actually Mrs. Eman who
I saw
developed and invented the black olive, and a lot of people don't realize that right here in Orville. So
Started the canning process.
a guy that I know who was president of the Butte County Historical Society, Larry Tracy, called me and asked me if we could reset that pillar in front of the Eman home. And I called a friend that I know that has a crane company, John Martin, and he said, absolutely. He came right down and we poured a new foundation, and he set that pilaster, that historical pilaster right where it belonged. And all of that stuff is donation, and there's so many people connected to doing what you're doing, and we just really appreciate it. But John has, him and I have been friends since 5th grade, and I don't know if he's ever charged a dime for any service in the city, helping people. And it's people like you, yourself and him that need to at least have some sort of accolade. And thank you so much for your time, because it's really essential to the community. Thank you.
Thank you.
And just a quick point of order, the Native Sons actually tried the first attempt to remove the monolith, if you will, that's there, And
We
we
have
weren't
plans
able
for
to do it.
making
And
it.
then Larry Tracy and Chuck came to the rescue and made it happen. So thank you, Chuck. Big deal.
Yeah, we want to preserve, there's also a little plaque right next to it, so we want to highlight those two, the monolith or obelisk.
Mhm.
We're going to put plants around it, sloping off so that people don't brush up against to it. And so there's another little plaque that we want to highlight as well, so we can bring more attention to those two areas. And it's just, it's a work in progress, but we're getting there.
And
little
I
by
know
little.
that you are working with the city on the Alberta Tracy plaque.
Yes.
Right?
That they've given me the
That's
the
being
dimensions
discussed
for
right
that.
now?
Yes.
Good, thank you.
Yes. So, yeah, thank
Any
you.
other questions or comments? Thank you very much. Next one, please.
Hey, if you'll turn to page 218 in your packet, we have one last presentation, and this is from the Lake Oroville Area Garden Club again. They are asking for funds to do soft landscaping at the Oroville Veterans Memorial Park. Their application is for $5,000. They provided information with 210% of matching funds. You know, I know at our last meeting, we were all concerned about keeping the matching funds at a low number. Every application has exceeded the 5% by a vast amount. And they would like to do amend the soils, but also plant blooms with seasonal red, white, and blue theme appropriate for the Veterans Memorial area. And with that, we do have a presentation and a short video or slides. Slides, okay.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Hi. Good afternoon.
Yes, we are a mighty group. We're gardeners. I'm Linda Oslin, and I'm representing the Lake Oroville Area Garden Club. I'm Chair of Community Outreach and Civic Beautification. Our grant is for beautification of the Oroville Veterans Memorial Park. It's also known, if you don't know, as the Butte County Memorial Park. And the project here, this is my first grant, my first presentation here, so bear with me to honor our veterans. Veterans Honor Group. My subcommittee chair, Peggy Mitchell, is a U.S. Air Force veteran. We have veterans among our membership who are veterans. Very important to us. We established and we donated and installed the Blue Star Memorial in front of the Veterans Hall, if you remember that, on Montgomery, back in 2022. We want to beautify the park with blooming gardens and native plants, create a welcoming entry to the park and historic downtown, improve recreational use along the Feather River, and the park, as you may know, extends into the Feather River. So across the Brad Freeman Trail, it goes all the way into the river. We want to replace their non-native species with drought-resistant native plants. Phase 1 will be planting and installing a drip irrigation system in the beds surrounding the flagpoles along Montgomery Street. It's about 394 square feet of area, planting area, 2 beds to beautify, and there are already existing roses there. We have started with the approval of the Oroville Veterans Memorial Park Committee to tend those roses and bring them back up to a little more, they will start blooming again, I promise. We didn't do a lot of work there, but we've been working on that until we start the improvements in the beds. We are going to be amending the existing soil in the beds, and we're going to purchase local or have donated plants as well for seasonal blooms and the theme of red, white, and blue. Also for horticulture interests, to create an exciting, changeable garden so that people who are coming into the park from various places downtown can enjoy it and just relish in all of the new blooms coming in. We're going to use themed plants for soil erosion on the west bed because there is a slope, and mulch for water retention and weed control. We'll maintain the park's planted rose flower beds, and we are a perpetual maintenance garden group. We've been maintaining the Montgomery Street planters since 2017, and the atrium up at County Center Drive since 2015. We just started on the Eman Home, as you heard, so that's an enjoyable project. These are, as you see on the slide, one of the beds as it exists now, and that's simply a rendering of what it may look like using, these are creeping phlox, but we certainly will have more elevated plants and a more, well, it'll look different than this, but this is a rendering of what it can be with the patriotic theme. And here's another bed. This is the bed on the west side that has the erosion, need for erosion control. So we'll be working on that. As I say, we're going to be, I'm seeking local retail discounts and also donations and partnering with various nurseries in the area to do that. The north side of the park will be phase 2. That is more of the native area near the trail and the river. And we'll be identifying with Butte County's help, identifying a sustainable and secure water source for that area. We'll be, with an approved plant list, we'll be planting natives and drought-resistant plants to replace invasive and non-native species. And we will maintain those plants, those trees. And just recently, I've had information that PG&E is interested in helping us with the planting of some approved trees. So that'll be greatly appreciated. Our organization began in 1976. We'll be celebrating our 50th anniversary in October. As Gina mentioned, we have 4 projects going now, but believe me, I have projects lined up for the future. And our volunteer base is fairly small. We have 57 members in the group right now as a recovery from the COVID, as you can imagine. But I had 10 people sign up for what we call the OVMP, the Oroville Veterans Memorial Park Project. They, as you know, with volunteers, people move in and volunteer and move out. You know, so we have a constant flow. And we'll be there. You see our signs around town, Garden Club working. The club meets annually September through June, but our club's team volunteers tend to club projects the year around. So we're out there in the summer, doesn't matter. Plants don't wait. Plants don't wait. And nature is the most formidable partner we have. And we enjoy partnering with other people. On this project, we partner with the Oroville Veterans Memorial Park Committee. We partner with Butte County. As I partner with Butte County on the atrium and the City of Oroville Parks on the Montgomery Street Planters, and as you heard, with the Eman Home Butte County Historical Society. That's our goal. That's what we do. We create civic beautification. We want the City of Oroville to be a beautiful park. When people come to town, they want to see that. And I think with the Green Bridge and all of the other projects that we're in today, we're all in the same agreement that we want the City of Oroville to be a showcase for our North State.
Thank you. Yeah.
Any questions?
I have a question.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
obviously in the front, you're gonna have annual color, not perennials? Or,
No, we will have some perennials.
so you had a picture, and it looked like petunias, red, white, and blue.
Oh, these are creeping phlox, and they are.
Okay.
perennial.
Okay, and they're gonna do well in our heat?
Yes, they do well.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh,
That's-
we will have the drip irrigation system, and we will be mulched for weed control and water retention. But there will be some loss. We
Mhm.
understand that, we know that, and we get ready for it. But basically, I think we're gonna be putting in plants that will resist the heat.
Very good.
Heat tolerant. Mhm.
Very
Heat
good.
tolerant and drought resistant.
I look forward to seeing it. Committee Member Reynolds, please.
Thank you. I think we would all be remiss if we didn't mention Stu Shaner's name.
Oh, yes.
And this was his vision for, I believe, about 30 years before they ever turned a shovel of dirt. And it's a shame that he didn't see it come to fruition. But I was with our late Congressman Lamafa when he presented the project with a $1 million check from the federal government. And that was quite a boost for this project. So it's a vision of many people, and it honors a lot of our most precious citizens who were willing to give all. And I think my children are some of them. They are either veterans or active military. So thankful for that. And I just, like I said, I wanted to mention Stu's name, so thank you.
And if I'm correct, you can say, if I'm not, I believe Mr. Shaner's son is on the Oroville Veterans Memorial Park Committee.
Yeah, and you know, and it was interesting that Stu was not a veteran, and but he had such a heart for the veterans that he worked on this project for decades to see it through. But yeah, he was an iron worker, and yeah, amazing citizen. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Oh, you want to speak?
Sure, I'll say one thing. I just want to say that this is an outstanding project in my view, and to see the red, white, and blue, and then, you know, the bridge lit up all at the same time in the evening, and then, of course, if we could ever get that trail connected to the nature center and finished, it just would all tie in together. So thank you.
Beautify it.
Well, Mr. Passmore, I just want to say that's what we've been trying to do all along, and it's finally starting to come together, Oroville. So we're doing it. Keep it up. Thank you.
Thank you.
TJ, please come on up. PJ, I said TJ.
Yeah.
PJ.
So I have a little bit of a public service announcement that on the 18th, Monday in May at 10 a.m., we're going to have a colonel from the Air Force at Beale Air Force Base at the park, and with a couple of military working dogs. We're going to dedicate the military working dog bronze, which you haven't seen yet, but will be installed before that.
What time?
Everyone's invited.
What
Yeah.
time?
10 a.m., June 18th, Monday morning.
Yeah.
May or June?
June.
May.
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 Thank you.
Oh, June is May?
May. Coming up soon.
Yeah.
Okay, Bob,
so-
where are we?
Okay, so here's where we are at this point. We've heard all the presentations, applications. You've had an opportunity for the past couple of weeks, just for the public, so you know how we were doing this. I put together a binder with all of the applications, along with a cover memo summarizing the application, and additional information for the committee. The committee looks at these with all of the various goals of the SBF. The difficult factor is that the applications far exceed the amount of money that was made available this time around. We have three people here from DWR, and we are extremely hopeful that we're going to move to the next phase of funding, which could be up to $1 million per year. So right now, we're dealing with $200,000. So for the committee, the next step that you folks need to do is to look at, think about each of the applications. I don't know if you want to take a few minutes to take a break and think, or if you want to just continue on, we'll continue on. Procedurally, what we'll do is we'll start with the Riverbend Park area. We had $100,000 available. There were two applicants, one withdrew, and so we still have one application from the Native Sons of the Golden West for $20,000. So the committee, what we require is a motion to either approve the full amount, approve for a different amount, ask for additional information, or not approve it, or finally, provide direction back to me to go do some different phase of that. So with having said that, Chairman Fowler, what I would recommend you do is call for a motion on that first and only application for the Riverbend Park area.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion.
Wait, got a couple questions first.
Member Pittman, please.
Yeah, thank you. Bob, when you just mentioned, it would be item number 12 in our pamphlet, the 90,000 safety walk path at Riverbend Park. Is that the one you're referring to that is not in consideration?
The one for the East Center, yeah, for 90,000.
90,000, okay.
Not looking at
Thank
that,
you.
so.
The other question I had is, in this other sheet, you provided us information about some numbers, and at the bottom it says available for the historic downtown district. And is
Okay.
that 180,000, is that true?
So what'll occur is that the initial NOFA made 100,000 or 50% of 200,000 available for
Right.
Riverbend Park and the historic downtown district.
Gotcha.
If one or more of the applications for Riverbend Park, we only had two applicants,
Right.
one withdrew. Whatever is left from that, if the application is approved, would then can be moved into your consideration for the downtown area.
Right.
Which would give you 180,000 instead of 100,000 in funds.
So you're not increasing.
Can be, it's an option.
You're not increasing the 200, you're just saying moving.
We're not increasing it.
Okay, all
No,
right, 'cause
we still have the 200,000.
I got you.
That's all we have.
And I just want to make sure the 180 is not
Additional.
existing funding left over.
No.
From,
No.
okay.
We do have some
Okay.
funds in the
Gotcha.
SBF, but
Okay.
that's not included in that.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Member Thompson?
Thank you. Just been chewing on as we've been going here, the flag idea. You know, it is the 250th anniversary of our great, the best nation in the world. I'm just conflicted with just having the bear flag. But if we did 3, I'm not sure if the Native Sons of the Golden West are open to that, but if we did all 3, you know, having the American flag, the bear flag, and I don't think we have any spot for Tree City, USA.
Well, it's funny that you say that because I was thinking it could be a future project where, if you look behind me, where are the flags? They're on my right, America, Old Glory's to the right of me, Bear flag's to the left. It'd be appropriate to have another large flag on the right of the highway, which is not our property, it's not Federal River Parks and Rec.
The only
But
yeah.
it would actually look nice and it'd be appropriate.
But I do like them together and having them together since there's already kind of a working agreement with the parks and then with lighting, you know, all that being consolidated in one spot. So my motion, I don't know if again, maybe you have to go back to the Native Sons of the Golden West for them to consider this since they're the ones who are presenting the project. But my motion would be for 75,000, which would include 3 flags. The American flag, the bear flag, and the tree flag. Having them consolidating one spot is going to, you know, with lighting, because when I think about all those kids down there doing their sports, there's times that we do the Pledge of Allegiance, and having a prominent flag right there at the end where everybody could see would be an ideal spot for all of our different events, and, you know, where we can have, again, a prominent. You're driving down the freeway, you're playing in the sports park, you got that big old flag that's right there. Little flags right there. So that would be my idea. I would like to see that, you know, because again, number one, it is the 250th anniversary of our great nation, and having this done during this time would be idyllic in my personal opinion. And again, you do it once, you do it right. I think.
I do appreciate the thought and the motion. Committee Member Pittman, please.
Well, I understand it, but in the terms of etiquette, it's understandable to me that any flagpole that has the U.S. flag at the top is fine etiquette to have the bear flag underneath it. Is that correct?
That's true. The flag code allows for flying of multiple flags on the same halyard, which is the rope, basically. So you are completely allowed to do that.
Okay.
The etiquette, though, is not to fly a flag above the U.S. flag.
Correct. Sure,
It's
yeah.
rude, you know.
Thank you.
And not advised.
Yeah. I'm more inclined to have that as a signature thing for this flagpole idea. I support the flagpole idea. I just think that one big flagpole and the 2 flags on it, to me, sounds like a great idea. Go ahead. Next question.
Committee Member Passmore.
My thought is that this application maybe needs to be continued until they bring it to the Feather River Recreation and Park District Board and gets voted on as a project there, and at least finalize that portion of the need for this application, you know.
Does our general manager have a comment? Before he gets up here, the Native Sons do have a meeting tonight, so we have the potential for discussion, but I'd like to hear from Brian.
As I mentioned before, the proposal before you today has been presented to the board, and it has been approved in concept. It sounds like there's discussion regarding changing the scope of the project, and I can't speak to how the board will respond to the change of scope.
They'll support it. They're American.
I love your assurance.
Yeah.
I do want to say thank you, Scott. I do appreciate that support. I'm more than happy to bring it up under new business for the Native Sons this evening. I'm sure they'd be very enthralled with the idea, and I'm sure we can do something.
And so that maybe if we're going to continue it, my motion then would be to set aside 80,000 on the parks side if we're going to be moving money over to the downtown side for a potential with you know, we present these initial projects and then there's, 10% rent over or whatnot. I would like, if they're gonna do this, and I think that this kind of thing not only benefits the community of Oroville, but, when I drive through communities, like I said, with Reading, and I see that, Old Glory driving by, it
Makes you feel good,
it
huh?
does.
Yeah,
It,
of course.
and so, not only would it be a blessing to the citizens of Oroville, but, driving through Highway 70 and seeing, the American flag, the bear flag, and potentially Tree City, USA, I would think others are like me, that it would be something that would be inspirational. And again, I know sometimes on certain things, we'd like to go to try to save money. I think this is one that is not one of those. I think that, this is something, if we do this project, this is something that's gonna be around past my lifetime, past anybody in this room's lifetime, unless something happens to America, it's gonna be around for generations.
Correct.
And, doing it once and doing it right, something that our community can be proud of for the long haul, is something I'd like to see done. So,
Any other
my
comments?
motion is setting aside 80,000, so that you guys can have your discussion, you guys can have your
Okay.
discussion, and it's set aside to get something done that's appropriate to the pride of Oroville, of California, and our nation.
So for clarity, Councilmember Thompson, are you saying that you're going to preserve 80,000, leaving 20 to be available to be moved over to the other projects, and that they can resubmit an amended application that has a different
Yes.
scope?
Yeah, the 80,000 is not approving any project, it's just
Correct.
setting aside with the potential, the 20,000 would be a different motion, but I'm just saying it's a
Understood.
potential to bring it over the other 20,000.
So no action on this category, they can bring back an amended, and you'll consider it at that point. Fair enough.
Okay.
Just wanted to make sure everybody was clear on what you were doing.
That's the motion.
That falls under the direction to staff. Okay.
Is there a second? Then I'll second the motion.
First and second.
I think and I don't think anybody's measuring anybody's patriotism here. We're all
Yes.
patriotic. But that's a lot of money with a little left on the table for some active, fluid projects that are trying to make it over the finish line. They're not in their inception. They're trying to reach their end goal, and some of these have been in the works for years. And not that I don't, if there was more money, I would definitely be for that, but I think that 80 is a little too much to take away from the other projects. I think that we could do it for cheaper than that. So I'm not going to be for the 80, but I am for the project.
Motion passes 3 yeses, 2 no.
Oh, yes, it does. Let's see.
It does.
Yeah, it does pass, okay.
2 and 1.
2 and 1.
Thank you.
Okay, I have a motion to work on this whole project on a bigger scope, if you're ready for it.
Okay.
All right. I would make a motion, and before I make the motion, I want to say every one of your projects are wonderful, and they should be fully funded. And please hold on to them, because my expectation is we're going to see a license this month. You all heard me, did you? Who you guys were there saying? That's Pittman saying it, put myself on a limb. So if we see it happen this month, then your applications will be reconsidered, obviously. So I'm going to say that to begin with. So don't lose your application. It's a wonderful bit of work. You didn't lose anything, and we'll look forward to those applications coming back. But in lieu of that, just to kind of clean sweep this, I would make a motion that we fund item number 4, which is the barricades for the city at 48-103. Yeah, well, let me finish. I'm just going to put this all in one package. The second package would be item number 8, the bridge at 49,719. Bob, are you writing this down for me? Yeah?
Pardon me?
Are you writing this down?
Yeah.
Okay. And then item number 10, the landscape at 2178, or 2,178, and that fits underneath the $100,000 budget. And then my other motion was going to be to accept the number 11 at 20,000, and then put number 5, the street signs for downtown DBA at 70,000, or no, excuse me, 80,000. But because we've locked on to that amount of money, I guess all we can do out of that fund is just motion for the 20,000. Because we're missing, right?
You're going to need to restate that, I think.
All right, you ready? Here we go again. I'm ready.
Because you have two kind of competing motions.
I'm just
What's
trying to.
the first motion?
I'm clean sweeping this whole thing so we can get this done. Number one, the motion is to fund item number 4, which is in your booklet, which is at 48,103, which was the city's barricade request for this events. Item number 8 at 49,719, which is the bridge request for the lights. Item number 10 in our booklet, which is at the $2,178 for the landscaping. And that totals, if my math is correct, the $100,000, which is allocated in that particular fund.
They're different numbers than on the agenda.
Well, I'm pulling right off of the sheet we got right here. I don't know what. Yeah, and I'm using the balance of that fund. There isn't 2,500, so I'm using what's left in that fund to fit the even home. Okay?
You said 4, 8, and 10?
4, 8, and 10 for the $100,000 first category.
What's that on ours? So number 11. That's number 11.
On mine.
Number 10 is the Eagles.
I'll pull it right out of our booklet that we were given.
Okay.
Number 15.
Okay, the Garden Club, all right.
Garden Club. Yeah, if you're going to the agenda, yeah, or if you want to go to the agenda, then it's
11, 15.
11.
11, 15, and 17. 17.
No, 17 is not a project. Okay. Yeah, so let's back up.
I'm
for a
looking
minute.
at the agenda right here. It says Lake
Okay.
Oroville Garden Club improvements.
Number 17.
Number 17 on the agenda that I have.
Veterans Memorial Park. Is that what you're talking about? That's 17 Veterans Memorial Park. That was more than 2,000.
Or are you thinking of the Eamon Home project?
I'm just, yeah, the Eamon Home project, it was 16. Yeah, okay, 16, which is number 9. So those 3 basically use up the 100,000 and move on. So let's just make that motion first.
Okay. Is there a second?
Do y'all understand what we're talking about?
Why don't you say it one more time for
Okay,
clarity?
I'll say it one more time for clarity, because the numbers in this booklet don't seem to jive. So number 1 would be, which is item number 11 on our agenda.
Spell it out, what is
Yeah,
the project?
It's the application for street closure equipment for parades.
Okay.
And that fund amount is 48,103. Correct, Bob?
Correct.
All right. The next one is number 8, which is item number 15. The Rotary Club project at 49,719. And then the other part of that motion is number 16 on the agenda, funding the Lake Oroville Garden Club landscape improvements. But we don't have enough to finish out that fund, so I'm reducing it down to the necessary amount to $2,178.
Oh, that's, okay. So you're not moving the 20,000 from the River
No.
Fen Park area to?
No, I'm working with.
Doing these first.
I'm doing these first. This is the $100,000 budget, which is our first
Okay.
request.
And that adds up to 100,000.
Right. Okay, I'll make that motion so we clear those off the deck and get something done here.
I'll second that.
Okay. Call the vote, please.
Can I say something first?
Comment?
And the only reason why I'm voting no on this is almost all of those I like. I think it's time that the city upgrade its barricades, and I think the city should take care of those on its own. So for that reason, because that one's on there, I'm voting no on this.
Okay.
I'd like to comment too.
Please.
I'm going to vote no because I feel the same way, and I don't think that the city should be funding permanent positions with this. I believe that we need to create a program that trains everybody. And then I also, this is an interesting way of voting for this stuff. It's kind of whirlwind. I haven't been serving on this committee for a few years, so I've been asked to set in an hour before the meeting, and this is kind of a whirlwind here. I think we need a better system of voting, because honestly, I would like to see Cultivate Power get some money for those mats so we can have repetitive business in town. Yeah.
Excuse me, not to interrupt. Are you finished?
I guess I am.
So the direction to the steering committee was to look at each item, not combine them.
Right.
But to look at each item and vote on them independently.
That's what I thought.
However, the steering committee can always bring forward a motion that does not match what staff is recommending. But the staff recommendation was to vote on each item. The items that were listed in the packet and the presentations were not in any preferential treatment at all. They were randomly listed. They're not alphabetical, they're not by
Right.
dollar amount. It's to make it somewhat of an even playing field.
And honestly, there's a lot of people here that put a lot of time and effort into their projects and into their presentations. And I for one, I was notified last minute and came down here because I deemed it important. I'm not trying to get it over with. I'm willing to go through them.
Okay.
So my question to the city attorney is, we do have a motion and a second. How do we proceed from here?
So you would typically vote on the motion after comments and decide whether it's
Right.
carried or not.
So that being said, should I open the vote?
Yep.
Motion passes, 3 yeses, 2 no.
Committee Member Thompson?
Oh, I'm.
You're done?
No, I wasn't
Okay,
yet.
all right.
Okay, so the committee still has $20,000 available if they want to move that over to the historic downtown district and look at the applications, consider the applications that were not included in that last motion.
Committee Member Pittman?
Well, we have the other 100,000 to work with, is basically the issue, and it's pretty commonplace for the SBF to put this stuff together, because we only have a limited amount of money. And every one of your applications, like I said, are still valid. They don't die today. They still can be reused in the future. And I'm just trying to get within our budget so we can get something done. I will probably not vote for that amount of money for the flagpoles. I think that's a little excessive for this particular activity, when we can hang the 2 flags on the same pole. So whatever they come back with and look at it, I was ready to move some of that money to the downtown place marketing and whatnot, which is a great identifier. That's just my opinion at this point. So we'll have to come back and see what happens later on. We only have 20,000 left. I'm hesitant to do anything until we find out what the finding of this Native Sons and the rec district are.
But you put 80,000 on hold.
Yep.
And pending, is there a time frame for the Native Sons to come back with a proposal? Our next official meeting is not until July.
Well, we can meet
We can
whenever
do
we
a
want.
special meeting
Yes.
ahead of that.
Yeah.
So,
That's what we want. That's what I
okay.
want.
Yeah, I agree. Special meeting is fine.
Okay.
Once they have
So
clarity on
you're
whatever.
not interested in using the 20,000?
Well, that was one comment. We still have people in the
Yeah.
queue.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. Ruth has something.
I didn't total 100,000. So I think when you were speaking, you said on item number 15, you said 49,719, it's 48, so.
You said
On item,
So you're open.
The city barricades is 48,103.
And then the Rotary was 48,719, I believe you said 49. And so there's, actually, you didn't make it to 100,000.
You're just shy of.
sure, we're shy by
So
1,000?
we're actually over.
Yeah, so there's
Yeah.
3,300 left.
Okay,
Well, we have
Well-
the Amen home too. Did you get that one? Okay.
okay, that's fine.
So there's still a little bit of money on the table.
Okay.
actually.
So when we come back to the special
Okay.
meeting, we'll have that detailed out.
Okay.
Okay? Got it?
Yep.
Thank you.
Yep.
All right.
Committee Member Thompson?
Thank you. Yeah, actually, I would like to see as committee member Reynolds mentioned, the Cultivate Power. There is quite a bit of momentum with that group, and I see kids over there all the time. So if we push the 20 over there, then they can work on, with that show of support, getting other donations from the committee, and then the special meeting that we have coming up, then we can move forward to see what flag presentation and costs, and as far as that goes, and whether this council decides on one pole or two poles or whatever. But I think that would help them get them going, and I think that'd be great. So I make a motion that we bring the 20 over and put it into Cultivate Power.
Second.
Okay.
Any discussion? Call the vote, please.
Motion passes 4 yeses, 1 no.
Okay, we've made it through that. Moving on to page 237, we have one more item, and it's just under regular business. It's the update of the Feather River Recreation Park District Brad Freeman Trail. As the committee knows, we have had $387,299.59 outstanding for some time. At the previous meeting, the committee asked the Park District to come back with an update, and Brian Wilson is here to give us an update on that.
Thank you. As mentioned at the last meeting, direction was provided to go back and see if we could get numbers to have that missing link portion of the trail surveyed. In reaching out to Melton, there was confirmation that North Star did do and submit survey back in 2014. Whether or not it is still valid, they cannot speak to. The cost at that time was about $5,700 as part of the project. They subbed with Melton, so the North Star piece was about $5,700. At this time, if there was a need to go back and resurvey, we estimate $7,500 to $8,000. In the conversation with Melton, they did provide an overlay that is included in your packet that shows the parcel boundaries as well as the project that moves through it. The reason that we asked Melton to do that was tied to the application that we have for the Land and Water Conservation Funds. And the state right now, their position is that funds would not be made available for any portion of the project that sits on privately owned lands. We have secured easements. So when we mapped it out, we felt that the project still had over 60% on public lands. However, portions that sit on county land, specifically under the bridge, state wants to exclude those lands because they don't have direct access without traveling through the private lands. So right now, two pieces. The question, how much to survey, approximately $7,500 to $8,000. Melton did provide an updated cost estimate that's provided in the packet as well. Right now with a 5% or a 10% contingency and a 5% annual adjustment, sits at about $600,000. As Bob mentioned, I think 387 allocated. So if this project was eligible for the funding through Land and Water Conservation Fund, if we were awarded 50% of the original ask, I'm still showing that we're about 86,000, 90,000 light on the project cost estimate as provided by Melton last month. So that is the current update. I'll do my best to answer any questions that you might have.
Committee Member Passmore? No?
I'll talk real quick.
Pittman?
Yeah, so the private ground we're talking about, is this the old Gibson property?
So currently, we have it's listed as the Todd Gaylord, just to the west side of the bridge, and the Blackwell property on the east side of the bridge, upriver. Those are the two private lands. I have seen the Gibson name on some of the parcels. We have the easements. Right now, we have the easements for all of the parcels in question. So it's not whether or not we have permission to move forward. It's whether or not we have full funding for the project as it's drawn currently.
My memory or recollection is when the Gibson Trust, when he passed away, it was deeded to the rec district, that property.
Portions of it,
Portion
yes.
okay.
The easement was.
No, the property.
No, the property
Property.
was, but so that area is not in question as far
Okay.
as
All right.
ownership. One of the requirements of the grant funding, they just want to see long-term perpetuity.
Yeah.
And without full public ownership, even though there's an easement, should there be a change in ownership, there is question on whether or not that easement will live as long as the project.
Okay. The complexities of bureaucracy.
So what I have learned on my short time on this project, jumping through hoops is a requirement,
Yeah.
repeatedly.
Thank you.
Committee Member Thompson, please.
No, yeah, thank you for taking this on. When we approved this back in 2019, this is almost 7 years ago.
It goes, I mean, if you look, I mentioned that the North Star did the survey in 2014, and I see notes that go back prior to that. So this is a long-going
Prior to the
project.
settlement agreement.
And
yeah.
different reports that we got, throughout the years on this, it just seemed like we were on the edge of getting ready to go, and it was like, and then there was a
One
change.
thing after another.
Yeah, then there was a
Yes.
change of management with the Feather River Parks District, and then with the previous administrator, it seemed like there wasn't any push with that, so we're glad that you're here, and we can potentially see this completed. Obviously, there's you said a shortfall financially, but this is gonna be something, when it's done, it's gonna benefit the whole community to have a beautiful, actually completed bike path that people can use.
Yeah.
I am originally from Boise, Idaho, and they have just a nationally known, renowned, called the Green Belt, that goes for miles. I mean, theirs would be complementary to where if you were to go all the way up to the dam and back on both sides with these beautiful bridges and whatnot. I mean, it's from, I don't know how many miles, but it's long. And people use it. There's places to, rent bikes and everything. It is heavily used by the community there, and so it'd just be great. I mean, this is a small, tiny little microscopic aspect to what that is, but at least to get it moving and then potentially even to spread it out as as we can. So anyway, thank you for the report. I'm glad that you're pushing forward on it.
Goes back to Scott Lawrence days.
Yes, it does.
Yes, it does.
Thank you, Brian.
Yeah, thank you,
One
Brian.
more.
No, Passmore?
Brian, thank you. This project to connect that trail is long overdue.
Yeah.
It needs to happen. Thanks for the work.
Yep.
And the hoops.
You'll write a book one day. Okay.
Chair, if I may, we did not call for public comment on non-agenda items earlier, so we just need to be sure to do that before we go into our reports.
Okay. Is there any commentary from the public on non-agenda items?
It does not appear so, but we did just need to procedurally go through that.
Okay. Correspondence? Or actually, steering committee advisory members and staff comments? Anything?
My last comment. Oh, yeah, you said steering committee.
Go ahead.
I'm not steering. I'm just looking forward to the lights. Good job. This is going to be amazing. I'm sure there's going to be an official date of turning those things on that we can all be there and celebrate it.
We will definitely have the 4th of July celebration for sure for public facing. We will, once we get past our lighting or testing and commissioning phase, we should have a private show for our donors and community stakeholders prior to that.
And then, this is stakeholders. Do you know something that I don't know as far as the FERC license?
It's getting close. That's all I can say at this point.
As you know, I made the mistake 10 years ago saying, we're going to get the FERC license.
Well, you're that guy?
No, I was not that guy. It just seemed like it's always like it's been on the edge of, this is it, this is it, this is it.
This, let's just say this should be it, because there's smiles over in the DWR folks. They
Well, I
can't say
have heard
anything.
rumors that there's more activity in regards to, some office stuff, but,
Yeah.
Mike's not on.
Right.
I didn't have as much gray hair when I thought we were going to get the FERC license, so
Exactly.
yeah.
Yeah, very true.
Okay, committee member Passmore, please.
So I just want to say, to the applicants that every one of these applications are very valid. And it's difficult for this committee to deal with such a minimal amount each time that we have to work with. And so, not to be, don't let any one of these applications go away and, continue to hang in there and, because they're all really very valid, I believe. And we're going to look to Mayor Pittman to make that announcement as soon as possible so that they can feel good about this, okay?
Bob?
Okay, so circling back to the applications one more time, Ruth, our finance manager for the city of Oroville, added up all the numbers.
Okay.
And we had 100,000 available for the historic downtown district. With the applications that you approved, excluding the 20,000 that you moved over, okay? You still have $3,177.97. Do you want to reconsider one of the applications, the Eman Home, or raise the amount on the Veterans Memorial?
I think I'd rather see the special meeting brought back so we know what numbers we're dealing with. Because if
Well, those are the numbers.
I know they're numbers, but we might want to move that to the other fund for some reason if we want to do less on the flagpole.
How much did he say?
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, they will. Okay, all right, just staff
Oh,
comment
that's
is
understood.
all.
Yeah.
I'm here to take direction from the elected.
Is that consensus among the committee? With Pittman, yes?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, then that's what we'll do.
Okay.
Okay, is there any steering committee advisory members? Any comments or reports?
Yeah, I wanted to go ahead and jump in. So Ryan Martin with Department of Water Resources. As Bob mentioned, we've got 3 of us from DWR here. I'm the new FERC License Coordination Branch Manager, taking over for Eric C., who's going to be going off into retirement at the end of June. And then we also have Andy Bam.
I knew
out
that
here
was
as well.
coming.
Yeah, so he gets to sit in the audience now. So, but we did check in on the funding. It is down at DGS. We had hoped we had the approval for today, but we checked in yesterday. The funding is at DGS. We hope to have news on that soon.
Okay.
Very good.
Thank you.
Anything else from anybody? Bob? Okay, then we'll go ahead and adjourn the meeting at, 4:24?
Yep. Very good.
Thank you, everyone.
All right.